So induction motor. So this is called generally you can say that this is an induction motor. So in this induction motor, so there are different type of parts are there. So this induction motor concept was so developed by the Nikola Tesla and Galileo Ferraris. So okay, these are the so different type of concept we are getting from these two scientists. Okay, induction motor concepts. So invented by the principle of operation, working principle of invented by the Nikola Tesla, scientist, and Galileo Ferraris. Okay, so because of his invention, so nowadays we are enjoying these motors, single phase induction motors, fans, okay, and escalators and paper industries. Different type of applications are there. So this understood. This induction motor is having is having a different type of parts. So this is connected terminal box. This is called a terminal box. So 6 terminals are coming from this box. Okay, the outside connected. This is called state of frame. Okay, the frame of the induction motor, and also this connected. So like this is having a terminal box and the sub terminal box base is used on this stator frame. Okay, is placed on the stator frame of this induction motor, and this is called cooling fan. You know well, this fan. So what is the purpose of this fan? It's used to cool this motor. Okay, in order to cool this motor, this fans is used. Okay, and you know well, when the motor is operating for a long time, and also uh, the current the increases, and maybe losses are there, compulsory some losses are there. So that losses dissipated in the form of heat, and that can be cooled by using cooling fan. Understood? And so this is called fan cover. So fan clamp. This is called fan clamp and fan cover. Okay, this is called so fan. Okay, this is placed on one side of this induction motor used for cooling of the induction motor. So this is also one of the important. Okay, so equipment and the induction motor. So and so this is called flange is so so our main so this is a nameplate of the induction motor, the nameplate, and this is called frame. So okay, this is called a frame of the induction motor, and it's called nameplates. So in this nameplates, each and every information is provided about this machine. Okay, how much of voltage operating voltage, range of the instrument, and current range, voltage range of, and operating frequency. Everything is provided in this nameplate of this induction motor. Okay, and so this is called a nameplate and a frame of the induction motor, and this next so this is called a stator core of the induction motor. You know well, this is called stator core. Okay, in this stator core, so this winding is placed at the inside of the slots. Okay, the slots, the winding is placed. Okay, so you are having a different type of slots are there. Okay, in the inside of the slots, the winding is placed and distributed. So okay, so this is called outer frame and a stator core. This is called a stator core. I'm already explained this concept, stator core, this design. Okay, the stator core. So in this stator core, there are the different type of slots are there. Okay, this is slots, different type of slots are there. Each slots, so in the each slots, the winding is placed. Okay, the winding is placed in this inside of the slots of the induction motor. So here, this slots. So slot is here, slot. Okay. The winding is distributed to the stator winding. Okay, so in this the winding is connected to 3-phase AC supply. Okay, from the box. Okay, 3-phase AC supply is connected. This no rotating part. This is called stationary part. Okay, this is only stationary part. There is no rotating part. So inside here, so we have to place the rotor. Okay, based on induction principle. So the based on induction principle, same as a transformer. Okay, the rotor winding is placed inside of this. Okay, this inside of the stator core. The rotor, we have to place the rotor here. So there is no connection between stator and rotor. Okay, there is no connection between stator and rotor. This is a small air gap, so we have to maintain the small air gap in between these two. Okay, rotor and stator. Okay, and next, so thickness of this stator core is a thickness of 0.3 to 0.5 mm, just like as a transformer also. So the stator core is not designed by using solid single solid single material. Okay, solid material, solid type. It is not a solid type material. So it is a different type of sheets. Okay, place it together. Okay, and in between these two, so we have to use some insulation. Okay, in this between these two. So insulations are provided, and then thickness of this each sheet is so 0.3 to 0.5 mm. Okay, by connecting all these sheets placed together, and you can form as a core to reduce the what is the main purpose of doing like this means to reduce the eddy current loss, same as a transformer. Okay, so 90% similarities are there for transformer and induction machine. So only difference is transformer, there is secondary winding is stationary, but induction machine is secondary winding is rotating. That is called rotor. So understood. And then the stator slots, this is called stator slots, and this is called stator tooths. Okay, this is called stator tooth. So this is called stator tooth, and this is called stator slots. Understood. And stator winding, this is called stator winding. Three-phase winding is distributed, okay, equally for three phases: R phase, Y phase, and Y phase. Some of the portion is covered by R phase, and some of the portion is covered by Y phase, and some of the winding is portion is covered by B phase. R phase, Y phase, B phase. Okay, three phases are distributed equally in the stator core. Okay, this is called stator winding. This is called three-phase induction motor. No? That's why some of the winding is distributed to the R phase, and some of the winding is connected to the Y phase, and some of the winding is connected to the B phase, and all are connected to together at one particular place. That is called star connection. And one terminal starting, another terminal ending is connected. That is called delta connection. Okay, based on the connection, we can say that star or delta. Okay, and next, this is called stator construction, and then so winding. So this is called rotor. So this is called rotor. This is the rotor is also having so laminated cylindrical core. This is called laminated cylindrical core. Okay, this is called shaft. Your shaft. Your shaft. This is called end rings. These are connected end rings. Okay, the laminated cylindrical core. This is called laminated core. So this is called squirrel gauge aluminum or copper bars. I'm already explained in previous animation. So these are called as, okay. So squirrel gauge aluminum or copper bars. Aluminum. These are not parallel to the shaft. That's why it is called as a squirrel gauge induction motor. Okay. This gauge and this gauge, they all copper rods are not exactly parallel to the shaft. Okay. Some angle. There is some angle between so shaft and this copper rods. Okay. That's so it's called slip ring induction. So this is called bearings. So inside is we have to place one bearings. Okay. So and then next, so actually this rotor bars are slightly some angle that is called skewing. Okay. So rotor bars are slightly skewed. So this is called end rings. I'm already explained. You know well. So end rings are how they are end rings are connected. This is called end rings. Okay. So rotor bars. This is called rotor bars. That's called copper rods. It's not exactly parallel to the shaft. Okay. So that's why it's called a squirrel gauge induction motor. It's looking like a squirrel gauge. Understood? It reduces the humming. So why? So why this uh, bars are not exactly parallel to the shaft? Okay. So means so if you are placing the some angle so to the shaft. Okay, this is the reason. So So it reduces the humming and provides smooth and noise-free operation. Okay. So generally the induction motor, generally so we'll get some humming noise. Okay. And also transformer also. In transformer we are getting the humming noise because of magnetostriction phenomena. You know well. So because of magnetostriction phenomena, so we are getting sound on transformer, humming sound or buzzing sound. Okay, I'm already explained why the transformer is getting sound means because of buzzing, because of magnetostriction phenomena in transformer. Okay, so here also, so we'll get some noise. It reduces the humming and provides smooth and noise operation, free operation. Okay, it results in a uniform torque curve for different positions of the rotor. Okay, and locking tendency of the rotor is reduced. If the two, I mean, the stator and the rotor bars are stator and the rotor bars are connected exactly parallel, there is a locking tendency between the stator and rotor. Okay, that means the rotor is not free to rotate at the starting, but there may be a locking between the stator and rotor. Okay, at time of starting. So that's why to reduce the locking tendency. Okay, locking tendency of the rotor is reduced. Okay, so by placing this rotor conductors or copper bars are so like this manner, some angle. Okay, as the teeth of the rotor and the stator attract each other and lock. Okay, that's why it's a so these are it's not placed exactly parallel to the shaft. The stator is a winding is slots are exactly parallel to the shaft. In stator exactly parallel, but in rotor is some angle. So if we are maintaining this parallel, there may be a teeth of the rotor and the stator attract each other and then lock each other. So that's why to avoid that, okay, locking tendency. So this rotor bars are placed in some angle. Okay, so not exactly parallel. Okay, and it increases the rotor resistance, and due to rotor resistance due to increase in length of the rotor bar and the conductor. Okay, can easily understand later classes. So this is about rotor bars, and the cage rotor is cheaper. The cage rotor, squirrel cage induction motor is cheaper. I'm already explained at time of starting. Cage rotor is cheaper and construction is robust. Okay, and the absence of the brushes and reduce the risk of the spark. So in this squirrel cage induction motor, there is no brushes. Brushes are not used. Okay, so based on induction principle, this power is transformed to the rotor, stator to rotor. There is no brushes. Brushes are not required. Okay, based on induction, we are giving the power supply to the stator only. It is not rotor. Okay, that's why the brushes are not required in a slip and a squirrel cage induction motor, but in a slip ring induction motors are required. Okay, required. Okay, and maintenance less and power factor is higher. Okay, the operating power factor of the induction motor is higher when it is used for when it is designed for squirrel cage. Okay, the efficiency of the cage rotor is higher. Okay, compared to slip ring induction motor, the efficiency of the gauge rotor is higher compared to slip ring induction motor. Okay, so this is the complete information about slip ring induction motor construction. Understood? And so this is the total parts of this induction motor. Okay, fan cover, fans, and cable gland. So we are connecting one external power supply we are giving from this box. Okay, terminal box. So squirrel gauge aluminum or copper bars are placed like this. Okay, so this is called bearings. Okay, to rotate the freely. So the bearings are used. Okay, and the stator winding. This is called stator winding. Stator core. This is called stator core. Okay, and this frame and the nameplates. This is all about construction of single phase induction motor.